Now to graph this, to use completing of square method is quite tricky because the coefficient of x squared is 3, so it's make it a bit trickier. So therefore, the best technique to use is to follow these 3 steps. Okay, step number 1. Okay, we're gonna find y-intercept. So y-intercept is, let's say I just do a quick sketch on this so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, like this, just roughly like that. So this is y-intercept. Okay, so to cut the y-axis, so you know that is on this point here, the y-axis. So when x is 0. So when to find y-intercept, that means x is 0. Okay, x-intercept is here. Okay, to find x-intercept along this line here is when y equals 0. Okay, so to help us to do mathematically. Alright, and then we're gonna find vertex. Vertex, this is called vertex, or you can say turning point. Okay, now before we find vertex, we need to find the line of symmetry first. This is called line of symmetry. Okay, I just missed that, sorry. Line of symmetry is x equal negative b over 2a. Okay, or if you got two x-intercepts, you can just find the average between two x, okay, x's. So you add them up, divide by 2, also give you axis of symmetry. Or just use this rule. Alright, so we're going to follow these 3 steps. So remember that for me. Okay, now remember, if something like this, best to use these techniques. Okay, now let's go. Step number 1, what do we have to do? Y-intercept. That's right. So I'll just find y-intercept first. Now we'll find y-intercept is that's when x is 0. So when x is 0, 3 times x 0 square. I just write this for you. So it goes 3. Okay, 0 square plus 5 lots of 0 square minus 2. So that becomes 0. That becomes 0 as well. Okay, so then the answer is negative 2. Alright, so y-intercept is equal to negative 2. Okay, now x-intercept. Now x-intercept is when y equal to 0. Okay, so when y equals 0, so it says 0 is equal to 3 x squared plus 5x minus 2. Okay, now if you factorize this, okay, so to factorize this, remember, okay, this one here is 3. So 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so it's 6. 3 times 2 is 6. So because this is a negative, so it goes 3x plus, okay, 3x minus, and then over 3, of course, because of 3. Coefficient of x squared is 3. Now, what give me 6? The difference is 5. Of course, 6 and 1, right? So, but the positive 5, so there's bigger number on this side here, 6 and 1. Then you take the common factor out for this group here. For this group, the common factor is 3. That's right. So I take the 3 out. So if I take the 3 out here, that give me 1. That divided by 3 give me 2. So this 3 cancel out that. So your answer is 0 is equal to x plus 2. Okay, 3x minus 1. So therefore, x is negative 2 or x equal 1/3. Okay, that's your x-intercepts. Now, okay, I'm going to find axis of symmetry. So that can I find the vertex. So axis of symmetry is, let's say, the rule is x, okay, equal negative b over 2a. Okay, so I just write on here because I run out of space. So now x is equal to negative b. Okay, this one here is a. Okay, this one here is b, because in front of x is b, in front of x squared is a, and then this is c. Okay, the constant is c. So negative b over 2a, so minus 5 over 2 times a, which is 2 lots of 3. Okay, so your answer would be negative 5 over 6. Okay, now you got x already. To find y, because vertex or turning point, so you have the x and the y value. So you got x value already. To find y, you substitute into this original equation here to find the y values. Does it make sense? So x is, every time you see x, you replace with minus 5, 6. So therefore y sorry, so when x is negative 5, 6, so y equal 3 lots of negative 5, 6 square plus 5 minus 5, 6 minus 2. Now, if you type this in your calculator, okay, you should get negative 4 and 112. Okay, so therefore, okay, your vertex is, go on. Yes. Alright, so your vertex is negative 5, 6 for x, and the y value is negative 4 and 112. Okay, now have a look. Now we've got y-intercept. Alright, then we have x-intercepts, two of them. Okay, and then we have vertex. Vertex means turning point. See, we got three things now. Okay, so then we can just graph it now. Okay, every time you see sketch, you need to find y-intercept, x-intercept, turning point, or vertex. Then now you just put those, all of those on your graph. Now, if you look at this, the y-intercept is minus 2, x-intercept is minus 2, 3, and then the vertex is minus 5, 6, and minus 4 and 112. So that means roughly, okay, move to the third quadrant. Okay, so I need more space on third quadrant. So I just draw this all the way down. Okay, that's a y-axis. Then I draw x-axis. Okay, so this is x, this is y. Okay, now let's do it. Now, because it's negative 5, 6, okay, so I just draw roughly, okay, I draw axis of symmetry first. It make it easier for me to draw. That's all. Now, you don't have to draw axis of symmetry, but I just draw it, it's easier for me. So now, negative 5, 6, and negative 4, 12 roughly is here, okay. So then your sketch, you just go all the way from here down and then up, because y-intercept is roughly about negative 4. So just roughly, because this is y-intercept is negative 2. Sorry, the turning point for y value is negative 4 roughly. So therefore, roughly halfway for the y-intercept. So this one here, roughly here, just a rough one. Okay. So now I start from here. I go sketch up, just go the way up. Okay, and then I start from here. Okay, go all the way down, roughly. Okay, that's all. See, that's what I get. Okay, now I just fill up all the information. So this is 1/3, and this is minus 2 for x-intercept. Sorry, I just rewrite the minus 2. So minus 2, and then the turning point or vertex, if you like, I write it down. So negative 5, 6. And then negative 4 and 112. Okay, that's the point there. And then the y-intercept is minus 2. So I just put minus 2 here. Okay, yeah, that's it. Very simple. Remember, just follow 3 steps. Step number 1, find x-intercept. I mean y-intercept or x-intercept first, doesn't matter. Okay, you find y-intercept, x-intercept. Find axis of symmetry and substitute the x value into the original functions to get the y value. Then just plot the graph. Okay, thank you for watching.